box. Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we are unboxing and reviewing the Hammond collection Allosaurus. This one was a bit of a mix for me when it was released. Originally I kind of wanted to get it, but when I first clicked on the link for it, it already sold out within 2 or 4 hours. So I had no chance to get it. But yesterday, aka December 1st, it released. And I decided, I should get it. And now, reviewing it. So, let's open this guy up. So first, we're just gonna put it here and cut it. I'm gonna try. Got 2 pairs of scissors just in case. See if this one does better. There. Open it up. There he is. Classic Hammond collection background. Put the box to the side. Looks like he's got some straps we can cut. What did they like cross the zip tie down here? Oh, here. And the body is out. Let's put this guy down. The tail just there and there. We can put that to the side, get these zip ties. And now all we have to do is pop this in. Hold on. There. Alrighty, before setting this guy up, he looks cool. I've never had an Allosaurus in my plethora of dinosaur figures. So this guy is a new bag or whatever you call it for me. Now let's come back to when I fix this guy. Okay, so I'm gonna try something different today. I'm gonna talk about its cons first. So, one of my first dislikes of the figure right now, this streak of like blue paint and spray paint to where it separates the tan, I don't really like it. It may be accurate, but it seems to be like random because like it's supposed to connect there, but then it just abruptly stops here. So that's already one of my dislikes. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I had the neck rotated the wrong way. Yeah, you still kind of see it. The head definitely looks a bit small, but I might have to look over the Allosaurus from the movies again to see, but it definitely looks a bit small. But other than that, at the moment, I can't seem to find anything too bad about this guy. So, why don't we get into paint in detail? Okay, like I said before, there's this streak of blue paint that separates the tan. But at the head, you can see you got this nice spray painted and painted blue, kind of like navy, with this red mark down the eye and nasal cavity of the Allosaurus, which is pretty nice. You got, let's see if that will focus. You got the glass eye to make it look like it's, looking. You can kind of see it moving, but yeah, it's got one of those classic Hammond collection carnivore glass eyes. You open up the head. The teeth are a nice kind of whitish tan coloration. The mouth is pink, like most dinosaur mouths. You got a tongue, which, in like the larger figures, they were articulated. It seems like they're not doing it for this scale, but I'm fine with that. Going down the head, the back, or the upper side of the animal is definitely covered in blue until the tip of the tail, which blends in with the bottom. But going down the head, you get this like division of the tan underbelly and the navy upper side, which is kind of neat thinking about it, but I just don't know if they fully executed it to the body. Here at the body, you can see the upper side, of course, is that navy with some great shading to the lower side or downside, with like the tan kind of going into the scales. On the arm, you have that navy blue fading into this tan to the forearm. And look at that! Of course, with Hammond collection, they paint the fingernails. If you're a Hammond collection collector, you're gonna know they up their standards for the classic Mattel dinosaurs. On the leg, you got this nice kind of stripy pattern going down the, I want to say thigh. Yeah, the thigh. Then you got some speckles across the body, like on the lower side. You can kind of see them right there. Painted toenails. One of the best things so far in this figure. Going down the tail, you got that transition as well, the navy blue and the tan, but at the very tip, it transitions to full tan, which kind of looks cool, but I just don't know if I really like how they blended it. It kind of looks like it just stops. But for detail, it feels really nice. It kind of feels a bit better than the Carnotaurus, in my opinion. This feels like, the Carnotaurus felt more like slick kind of plastic. This feels like hard plastic, kind of like the Giganotosaurus. You got these nice molded crests on the head. They kind of make a shark fin, when I think in the movies, they're a bit more like a, I don't know how to explain it. The teeth, we went over that. The underside has this, like, nice scaly patterns with some, like, scales and big scales, that kind of stuff. The transition on that lower jaw is actually pretty good. You got nice detail on the knees, nice detail on the feet, Jurassic World logo. You can see how nice they made the scoots running down the feet and the leg as well, or I mean the ankle, and also the scoots running down its fingers and its hand, which is really nice. The spikes on this guy are actually a soft kind of rubber, which is nice. So they kind of go up then down in like height. Then they go a bit up, down, and then they go really up at the hip, but then they start decreasing, but then start evening out to the tail. Which I kind of... So, now I'm going to get into the design of this guy, now that I'm thinking about it. The Jurassic World Allosaurus, not, from what my experience has been with this movie franchise, not a plethora of people really like this guy or the design, but in my opinion, it's a pretty good design. It looks, when you see this guy, he looks like an Allosaurus when you first think of every dinosaur. But in my opinion, I just don't like them putting random scoots and osteoderms on dinosaurs. I understand, like, oh, they had to replace the genome because they didn't have 100%, which they explain in the movie. But it just doesn't make sense if you do it for every single dinosaur. But now that we're done with that, let's get into articulation. For articulation, we're of course going to start with the head. The jaw can open, each on their own hinge, so you can kind of get different, like, poses with the head. The head can go up and down pretty well. That was kind of one of my issues with the Carnotaurus. The Carnotaurus couldn't really look, like, up and down well. And as I'm about to show here, with this base neck that can also go up and down, you get a really nice side view. Like, it looks like it's looking that way. That was my problem with the Carnotaurus. It cannot look sideways. I tried my best. It didn't really look like that. Now, one of my pet peeves, I would say, with these medium-sized carnivores, they don't have the middle waist posability. I kind of understand they needed it for the T-Rex, but they stopped doing it right after it, so I don't really see them doing it ever again. But with the forearm, you can spread it out forward, spread it out back. I just got this guy, so he's kind of stiff. You can rotate it 360. I don't know. The arm can, of course, do the same. The hands can move like that and swivel as well. And if any of you notice, yes, I'm doing this guy with an accurate hand posture, because if Hammond Collection is going to let us post the hands, I'm going to do it like dinosaurs should be doing. Okay, now we get to the thigh. The thigh it locks in place very well. It's definitely a bit tight, but it's in a way to where this guy is not really going to be loose. Then you got the knee, which the knee can move forward and swivel a bit. The ankle can rotate and swivel sorry, I forgot the word already. The feet can't, of course, move as well. They can't really swivel. No, the feet can't swivel. The ankles can swivel. Now, one of the neat things about this guy, the Carnotaurus kind of had like a part of the tail that was just a big piece of like plastic, and then it became the rubber tail. With this guy, however, his entire tail, except like this tan part, is bendy wire, which I love. You can get this guy in such good poses, and it stays well. Now, something I saw when people were getting this guy on the first day he came out, people weren't liking the balance because they said he was a bit tail heavy, but in the way I have him standing up, he is not having that problem. Like, I haven't had to push him up or anything. So, yeah, I believe that is articulation. Now, we're going to get into size comparison. Okay, so first we're going to start out with the smaller side of the figures. First, we have a normal Mattel Jurassic Park worker. Pretty good size compared to the Allosaurus. Now, it definitely looks pretty big, but it's just the way the camera is. If you put it right here, you kind of get a better way of how it is. The Allosaurus is a pretty good size. I think it was a lot bigger in Battle at Big Rock from what I watched, but it's still pretty good size. Next up, we have two basically the same size figures. The Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus and Hammond Collection Junior, the juvenile T-Rex. They're on the smaller side, but they're still pretty good compared to him. Next up, we have the Hammond Collection Baby Stegosaurus. Mortal enemy species of the Allosaurus, so Allosaurus would probably take advantage of its small size from what we can see. Next up, we have the Hammond Collection Irritator, which is from what I know is or what I have, it's a pretty small carnivore in terms of, like, when you think of a theropod, you think of, like, a T-Rex, those big ones. This is a pretty, like, small carnivore, but it's still on the big side, like, you know, when compared to a human. But, yeah, it kind of dwarfs the Allosaurus. Or the Allosaurus dwarfs it, whatever. Then we have the Hammond Collection Parasaurolophus. I kind of got him in a standing way, but yeah, he can't stand up on his own, or at least in the way I have him, so putting him like that, it's a pretty good size, I would say. Now that we're done with the small figures, let's move on to the medium-sized figures. Starting with the mortal enemy of the Allosaurus, we have the Mattel Stegosaurus. Pretty good size comparing the two. The Stegosaurus is, in the Jurassic World series, it's either small, like close to its actual size, or it's just oversized. Talking about The Lost World. Still good movie, just my only pet peeve. And my most contrasted figure for this guy, the Hammond Collection Carnotaurus. This guy is definitely one of those figures you'll have problem posing. He's a bit on the heavier side, but like I have him in a way to where he's kind of bending down, but he is basically the same size as the Allosaurus. But you can see they kind of fixed their stuff. Like this part of the tail, they got rid of that so it's entirely bent. Hold on. Oh, sorry. They fixed it to where they got rid of this, like, I would say brace, and made the entire tail bendy wire. My problem with this Carnotaurus, though, when I got him, his tail would not really stay still. Like, it would droop down. Now, this may be my only opinion. It may be agreed with some people. But for what I've had with the Allosaurus as of reviewing it, because as soon as I got this guy, I reviewed it, I personally believe the Allosaurus is a better figure. Now, hold on. Some people may be mad. I am not saying the Carnotaurus is a bad figure. I'm just saying Hammond Collection has had some time to upgrade their figures. And I believe Allosaurus is just slightly better. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the big ones. Next up, one of my favorite Hammond collections, and my first Hammond collection, Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. And, of course, the T-Rex is bigger. I feel like a lot of people know that. But the Allosaurus, that just does not mean the Allosaurus is a small dinosaur. It is pretty fairly sized compared to the T-Rex, because Allosaurus, largest predator that right now that we know of, largest theropod land predator of the Jurassic, if you know what I'm saying. And it's, you know what, it's just a pretty big theropod for its time. And millions of years later, we got T-Rex, which was the largest theropod known. Yes, I said that. Do not try and convince me otherwise, because I listen to facts. And next up, we have my second favorite figure of the Hammond Collection line, Hammond Collection Giganotosaurus. Same as T-Rex, pretty big compared to it. Allosaurus, decent size. So that's going to be the end of size comparisons. Now, some things before I end this review. This figure is priced around $35. I got it on Target. Can't really find it anywhere else. And something I want to end with is, do I recommend this figure for dinosaur figure collectors or Hammond Collection enthusiast? Yes, this is a great figure if you do not have an Allosaurus, or maybe you just want a better Allosaurus toy. Some people may have some downsides when it comes to this figure, but overall, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best Hammond collections so far of current times. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to support me, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.